Good morning from Motorland Aragon. It's, well, beautifully sunny here, but it's got to be said darn cold. We're here with Dunlop for their major tyre test before the start of the European season, with both the LMS and the FIWC, as well as you'll see later the VLN. Bear with me a second while we're just doing the kit. Here with my tyres kit is self-managed Dunlop Motorsport, and you can see in the background the tyres disappearing off into the distance. It's a sea of yellow trucks. Everybody's on deck for this one. How many people have you got here? How many tyres? What's the highlight? Tell us all about it. It is, yeah, I mean it's cold, but it's very, very bright, and you know, we know that Motorland Aragon is a long way away from anywhere. When it takes twice as long to get here from Barcelona as it takes to fly to Barcelona, you know, the place is fairly isolated. For the LMP cars particularly, and there's a lot of them as we'll be seeing in just in a little wee while, it's all new this year. There's 5 compounds available for the guys, 3 slick compounds, intermediate and wet, and we gather all new.
All the specs are super new, but again we need to keep in mind that last year we had cars with 4 horsepower with not too fast, but we down to the half to bring again to the
and we've got open competition again, of course, in LMP2. We know already that for the first time in the new cars, it's going to be a tyre contest in the WEC as well. We've had Dragon Speed already announced that they've selected Michelin. That's a good thing, though.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a very good thing as well, because last year it was like having all the pressure in one number. This year it will be much more having all the truck manufacturers, usually with Valhalla in there, having Michelin in front of them.
Fantastic. We're going to let you get on with it this morning. I know you're taking some of the media along with your track support engineers to learn what it is that a tyre technician does. That's going to be great stuff later on. But while we're waiting for those guys to arrive, because the rest of the media haven't arrived yet, I'm going to do a sneaky run down the pit lane and the paddock with the LMP cars, which a couple of GTE cars which sit behind my tyres, and then behind us, behind me, is where the VLN cars are, the GT3s, and a couple of surprises there. For now, thanks very much. We'll take a walk. Great stuff. So, get into the morning, and we're going to walk down the back of the pits for the moment, because the sun's not with us. And as you start to see, as you get around this van, beyond the line, it's actually 10 trucks here, not the 9 that my tyres was telling us, but 10 trucks here, full of tyres and tyre technicians from all over Dunlop Motorsport's world. We'll see in there. This is where some of that stock is being stored and fitted. Hugely important part, the early part of the season, and saying not only they trying out the new tyres for 2018, but the 2019 developments are already going. First truck we come across, Proton competition. Get round to see the cars in a moment. I'm going to take a walk down the back to the end, and then walk down the pit lane where the garages will be getting open. So the cars you can hear running. Take Alpine here with their Alpine A470, high class racing. Dallara, an ABF 5 Vela. It's one of the newcomers this year to the LMS. You can hear one of the Gibson engines powering up. The Corsa. So a trio of Dallaras here for the week. guys have been here since Monday. 1 or 2 cars have been here and have gone already, including Racing Team Netherlands. They of course are here. This is Duncan Cameron. Ferrari 488 is here. Graf Racing is next up. And you get the first chance to see the Graf Racing truck, the Graf Racing car, one of which of course is now in full G-Drive livery. Both G-Drive cars here for the test. One with Graf, one with TDS Racing. United Autosports here with this, well, both cars here, but a single car running. And we'll wait to see who's actually driving that car today. Was told that there's a possibility we might see a guy that's is under consideration for the final seat. And would you believe it? Look who that is. There you go. Morning, Oliver Turvey, testing the United Autosports car this morning. There's a bit of news for you. G-Drive Racing and their effort with TDS here. Their WEC car was testing yesterday, I think it's left now. And Algarve Pro here with a couple of Ligiers, their LMS car with a Gibson engine. And actually, their older Nissan engine JSP2 car is here for covering like a monument drive today. Morning. And later on, we'll be getting some time, I gather, in the new car. So just see if we can pop through to the pit lane this away. And we can't because one's blocked that garage. And we'll see whether or not pit lane doors are yet open. Algarve Pro. Let's have a pop in as the doors do open. This is the Algarve Pro garage. And there is a great opportunity, by the way, to see the difference between the two generations of Ligier and the V2 car. That is the Nissan engine car. That is the Gibson engine JSP217. Good morning, good morning. Have we shouted there? And this is the car that did battle in the Asian Le Mans series for the team. And expecting to see Michael Mooneman out in this car this morning. Got a very pretty car, the JSP2. And coming over to Peculiar with an old carbon Ligier here, painted, the JSP217. And please find Hugo this year. Well, let's see what we can do about finding a couple of drivers. Happy that you're on. Enjoying that car?
Yeah, it's an amazing car. Much better than the Opel.
He was out in Asia with the car. The first car we saw, the Nissan engine JSP2. This time around though, is going to be, he's been trying out the Gibson engine car. Now here's a bit of, this is the G-Drive car. Look who that is. That's Roman Rusinov. Look, hello Roman. Roman Rusinov will be part again of course, the G-Drive setup. This is TDS Racing.
No, we're not racing.
Roman told me he's not racing, but testing. But interesting here, of course. There is a story a little later this morning that we'll bring to you about the makeup of this squad. We've got 2 cars racing with TDS Racing, one of which is the ELMS car over Oman for the Ford ELMS. This is the car that will be doing the WEC with TDS Racing. That's the car I believe not running today, but we will see. United Autosports, Phil Beckett's watching. Oh Phil, now we can see, I think through there. Here's an odd one. Now, this is, look carefully, that's a car that is not on Dunlop tyres. That's a car that's still on Continental side. If you haven't looked at the car a little closely, United Autosports not opened up yet this morning, but we'll come back to them a little later when they have. So it's actually the Ligier that ran at Daytona for United Autosports with Fernando Alonso, with Phil Hansen and Lando Norris. It's here basically as effectively a spare car through the Graf Racing area. Garage doors are beginning to get open this morning. And don't worry, we will go and try to find Hugo just a little later. We might have a second crack at this later in the morning as well. As is often the case with a long, week-long test, sometimes a bit of a slow burn for some of the guys. Ferrari time. And there, of course, the boys warming up the 55 car. Aaron Scott was here for the first 2 days. We'll be here again with his driving partner Duncan Cameron. And so was here yesterday with all things a Formula Le Mans car. We'll read a bit more about what that car was doing here on Daily Sports Car later. Said Dallara Norma Corsa, the beautiful Dallara. Of course, remember this is the Joker Pack version of Dallara. Minor changes to the front end of the car this year. Car again unliveried as yet. All three drivers have been here and all three drivers have been racing. Next up, and one of the very welcome newcomers. This is Adrian Valles AVF. And you can see, I suspect for the first time, he names the drivers on the car, Poroshenko and Chavez. I believe that is the car that raced last year for SMP Racing, that chassis. That was the spare car for this team, which is High Class Racing. Cracking team. Their first entry last year into LMP2 with another of the Dallara P217s, Dennis Anderson and Anders Fjordbach. And their car is ready to go. Thumbs up. Anders in the car, and we'll see him a little later too. Lots of stories, lots still to come. The Alpine Blue A470 with there's a man just shuffling his way out of the way to the right hand side. We're not going to let him do that. We're going to say good morning to Nico Lapierre. Morning Nico, Facebook Live. You out this morning? Excellent, all good stuff. And there's another interesting sight at the back of the garage. We've got Pierre Tyre ready to go as well. I think Pierre will be first into the car. If you're not sure where to find Motorland Aragon, many aren't. It's something like a 3-hour drive from Barcelona Airport, and as I was saying a little earlier, an hour and 45 minutes in the car, in the plane, and 3 hours in the car. It is not the most accessible place, but it's a fabulous place and a great place to come testing. And, we might just get a sight as we come down to the end of the pit lane here of just how many of these teams test. Up in the lot Paddock at the top of the circuit, and not testing this week, but they have been here, is one of the TMG trucks, Toyota hybrid trucks. They've been doing some of their endurance testing out here as well. It is that time of year when teams are really starting to get serious about what they can actually squeeze out of their testing program. Test days, of course, are quite heavily restricted in some of the international competition. This part of the pit lane is all about VLN, and Dunlop again heavily involved in the VLN series. This is the Team Ring Police Porsche 911 GT3R. We'll be doing battle in the VLN this year. And Lucas Lure will feature in that car. We're expecting another star driver later. Phoenix Racing and a pair of Audi R8 LMS are also here. There's some interesting driver lineups and a couple of interviews coming there later in the week. The gorgeous sounding Audi R8 LMS with the 5 litre V10. Go. One of the most spectacular looking cars here, the Lickenhouse SCG 003C. Pole position setter, of course, last year at the Nürburgring 2000. Looks like Kolasinac is in the driving seat there, ready to take the car out this morning. HPD V6 screaming away in the back there. Now, I'm just looking to see if the final garage is open, because if it is, something of a surprise here. It's a story that we'll be chasing up later today, because there is a well-known team. You see the jacket of the gentleman on the right hand side there from Schubert Motorsports, and there's a little teaser for something coming a little later. So there is the Evo version of the familiar BMW M6 GT3, but as we just wander into the garage, look what's over there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the fabulous looking Honda NSX GT3. Now it's a programme being announced for that car for the Paddock GT Masters. Not yet a programme been announced elsewhere, certainly not on Dunlop, and as they hopefully open the garage door, as we can see this fabulous looking thing. Those of you man-winking at me from opposite the car, that is a gentleman by the name of Bobby Schiller, and Fabian Schiller, his son, was out in this car yesterday. We'll wait to see what and whether there is a programme for that car elsewhere than in the Paddock GT Masters, and beyond that we'll wait and see what the and currently is, I believe, the test programme, or whether or not it's a race programme. So hopefully we'll do a bit more inside the that later today. I'm off the back of the video, we wanted to be blind by myself, it's very bright this morning. Pop out the back again. Maybe have to bring the police car. Teams are just getting ready to go now. Suiting up. We're going to wander out here, wrap this one up for the moment. Don't worry who goes, people. We will be coming back to the guys. But we thought we'd get this one in the can, if you like, before the engines fire up and it starts to get difficult to talk. Other good things, of course, about a test session, the none of the usual restrictions that we'd normally have about filming cars on track. So what we will be able to do a little later this morning, we're only here this morning, before we're off back to the UK for the British GT Media Day tomorrow at Donington Park, we will be able to film the cars out on track as well. So look back for a bit of track action, I hope, and a bit more action in the pit lane, with a few more details about what's to come. These fabulous cars. It's going to be a fun day. The cars hit the track. I'm going to hit the press room and start to write up some of the news stories that are already emerging from here. From now, from a very sunny Motorland Aragon, we'll bid you goodbye. Speak to you all later.